Hello friends, myself Dr. Madhusudan Bele, Department of Zoology, Shri Vasantrao Naik Mahavidyalaya, Dharni. In this lecture, we will discuss about the overview of immune system and their functions, cells which are involved in the immune response, and difference between innate and adaptive immunity. So what is immune system? So immune system is the basic defense mechanism or a system of our body that protect us from various kinds of harmful pathogens and invading organisms such as viruses, carcinogens, pollutions, germs, different kinds of toxins, fungus, bacteria and parasites. Let us now understand the term immune response. Immune response is defined as the coordinated reaction of the host immune system to foreign agent or the pathogen. Functionally, immune response is divided into two kinds of related activity such as recognition and response. The immune recognition is remarkable for its specificity. It is also able to recognize chemical differences that distinguish one foreign pathogen from the another, as well as foreign molecules and the body's own cells and the proteins. Once foreign organism has been recognized, the immune system recruits variety of cells and the molecules to mount an appropriate response, and this is called as effector response. To understand the immune response, we will take an example of phagocytosis. So process of phagocytosis follows three main steps. First, recognition and adherence. Second, engulfment. And third one is intracellular killing. Chemotaxis. Microbe releases some kinds of protein that allows the phagocyte to their location. The phagocyte attaches themselves to microbes with the help of special proteins which present on the cell surface of that phagocyte. After that, the ingestion of microbe by the phagocyte and forms of phagosomes. Inside the phagocyte, there is a presence of lysosomes which containing a digestive enzymes. These lysosomes are attached to the phagosomes and forms phagolysosomes. After that, the digestive enzymes which are present in the lysosomes partly digest the microbes and forms a residual body containing indigestible material. And finally, these indigestible material or residual bodies are discharged from the phagocyte. So the main functions of our immune system is to protect or prevent or limit infection. Let's talk about the basic structure of immune system. In immune system, there are three lines of defense. First line of defense, second line of defense and the third line of defense that protects our body from various microorganisms and even from non-living things like toxins, metals, etc. So immune system is divided into two types, innate immunity and adaptive immunity. So let's see about innate immunity. In Latin, innate means inborn, that is, it is present at birth. It is determined by genetic factors. It is also known as native immunity or natural immunity because it provides early defense against the infection. Innate immunity is also known as non-specific immunity because it provides defense against wide variety of infectious agent that includes bacteria, fungi and viruses. It is further divided into external defense, that is first line of defense, and the internal defense, that is the second line of defense. So external defense includes physical barrier and the chemical barrier. In physical barrier, skin, mucus, nasal hairs and the cilia, wherein the chemical barrier, oil, sweat by the sebaceous gland, stomach acid or low pH, lysosomes in tears and the tissue fluids. Let us see how first line of defense protect us from the pathogen. So skin is considered as the largest organ of the body. It prevents pathogen such as bacteria and the viruses from entering in the body. It also provides chemical barriers and the biological barriers. It also secretes some antimicrobial proteins to kill the microorganisms. Sebum, which is secreted by the skin, contain a lactic acid and the fatty acids that maintain pH between 3 and 5. And this pH is responsible for inhibition of the growth of that particular microorganisms. It is also contain different kinds of immune cells. Similar types of barrier immunity provided by the other surfaces of the body like respiratory epithelium, GI epithelium, genitourinary system and the surface lining of nose and the pharynx that prevent attack by the pathogens. So respiratory system epithelium has a particular kind of cilia which propels the microorganism out of the body. If the defect occurs in the functions of that particular cilia, there occurs a respiratory infection or chest infection. So stomach acidity kills most of the microorganisms which is ingested during food intake. Tears of eyes which contain lysogenic enzymes, these are also kills various microbes. It is also one of the kind of barrier immunity. This is the first line of defense in immune system. If the pathogen able to cross the first line of defense or the external defense, it messes with a second line of defense or the internal defense. The functions of internal defense or the second line of defense is a destruction of or the elimination of microbes which penetrates the body. So internal defense or the second line of defense having a main component such as phagocytes, neutrophils, mast cells, basophils, dendritic cells, eosinophils, monocyte, macrophages, natural killer cells, inflammatory reactions, fever, interferons and the complement system. So this diagram showing the different kinds of WBCs. Let's talk about the different types of cells in the innate immune system and look at their functions. So first one is the neutrophil. So neutrophils are the most abundant immune cells. They are about 60 to 70% of total WBCs. It is one of the granulocyte because it contains granules in the cytoplasm. So cytoplasmic granules of neutrophil contain near about 200 to 250 granules per cell containing various enzymes, myeloperoxidase, defensin, serine protease, cytokines, alkaline phosphatase, lysozymes that used to kill the bacteria. So these neutrophils are the polymorphonuclear. If you look at the neutrophil, its nucleus is multilobed. That's why neutrophil is called as polymorphonuclear. That is nucleus with multiple morphologies. It performs the phagocytotic functions. They are short-lived, dies after digesting the bacteria, and dead neutrophils make up a large portion of pus. Next cell in the innate immune system is eosinophil. It make up about 1 to 3% of total WBCs. It is having a double-lobed goggle-shaped nucleus. So it is also contain a granule in the cytoplasm. So it is also one of the kind of granulocyte containing different types of chemicals and the enzymes, and these chemicals and the enzymes used to kill the pathogens. So there are involving to kill parasite through the degranulation and also involved in the allergic inflammations such as asthma. Next cell is a basophil. It is the least common of all the WBCs, near about 0.5 to 1%. So blue granules containing the toxic and inflammatory compounds. It contains heparin. Due to that, it involves in the blood clotting. It plays an important role in parasitic infections and in the allergic reactions. So next cell is the mast cell of the innate immune system. So mast cells are the innate immune cells, resides in the connective tissues and mucous membrane. So mast cells are associated with wound healing and antimicrobial defense, and it is also involved in the allergic responses. It is also having a particular kinds of granules containing histamine, heparin and the cytokines. Due to that, expulsion of parasite occurs. So next two important cell in the innate immunity is monocytes and the macrophages. Macrophages are the large phagocytic cells found in the organ, not the blood, made in bone marrow as a monocyte, called as a macrophages once they reach organs. Monocyte is a young macrophage in blood. It is called monocyte because it contains one lobed nucleus, which are showing in the figure. There are tissue specific macrophages and act as a antigen presenting cells. Phagocytosis and the killing of microorganism, it is the functions of macrophages. Next cell in the innate immunity is dendritic cells. So dendritic cells, why it is called as the dendritic cells? Because they having a branches. So these cells having a branch like projections, that's why it is called as a dendritic cells. Found mainly in the tissue in contact with external environment such as skin, inner linings of lungs, nose, stomach and intestine. Functions as a antigen presenting cell. So what is the antigen presenting cell, or the functions of the antigen presenting cell is antigen presenting cell detects the pathogen and internalized by the phagocytosis and display the part of that antigen on their membrane bound to the class 2 MSC molecule and present it to the lymphocytes. It is mainly secrete type 1 interferons play a central role in the defense against viruses. Next cell is the NK cell. It's called as a natural killer cells. These are the component of innate immune system, does not directly attack microbes. NK cells destroys our own cells that are defective, such as tumor cells or virus infected cells. Apart from physical and chemical barrier and various types of cells, the innate immune system also has a special type of defense system called as complement system. We will see complement system in a very short manner as an introduction. So what is a complement system? Complements. It is a group of plasma protein, near about 20 plasma protein, that are activated in the presence of foreign substances. And these plasma proteins help the antibody and other immune cells to destroy invading microorganism. Complement activation enhances and amplifies inflammation. Bacteria and some other cells are lyzed by complement activation. The basic mechanism of activation of complement system are as follows. Whenever any pathogen enter in our body, it get recognized by antibodies which are present in our blood. The binding of pathogen to antibody is most important for activation of complement system. After the activation, a cascade of different enzymes act on the surface of that particular pathogen to kill it. Complement activation enhances both innate and adaptive defenses. Now, after the discussion on innate immune system, let us now study about adaptive, acquired or specific immunity. Adaptive or acquired or specific immunity is the third line of defense and is composed of highly specific cells and process to eliminate pathogen or prevent their growth. It is not present since birth and it acquired after the birth. That's why it is called as acquired immunity. It adapts according to the types of threats that we are exposed to. That's why it is called as a adaptive immunity. It is highly specific in action. Due to that, it is also called as a specific immunity. So, some are the properties of immunity such as specificity. T and B cells have specific receptors that will also allow them to only recognize and target a specific antigen. This process is known as antigenic specificity. Versatility. Millions of different lymphocyte populations, each with specific antigen recognition receptors, allow for anticipation of potential antigen. Third one, memory. After initial exposure, long-term acquired immunity occurs through the production of memory cells. Secondary exposure results in stronger, faster response to previously recognized antigen. Fourth property is tolerance. Immune cell recognize self-antigen and tolerate means ignore them and only attack on foreign antigens. Adaptive or acquired or specific immunity arises throughout the life by active or passive means. So this is divided into two types, active immunity and the passive immunity. Active immunity means it is produced by antibodies that develops in response to antigen, and it is further divided into two types, naturally acquired active immunity and induced active immunity. So naturally acquired active immunity means natural exposure of antigen in the environment, and this exposure results in immune response, and after that exposure of antigen a development of long-term immunity. This is a natural acquired immunity. Whereas induced active immunity means deliberate artificial exposure to antigen. Due to that there is a development of immunity. It's called as a induced artificial active immunity. The example is for vaccination. Likewise, passive immunity. The passive immunity produced by a transfer of antibodies from one person to the another one. This passive immunity is further divided into natural passive immunity and induced passive immunity. So natural passive immunity means the transfer of antibody from mom to the baby across the placenta or in the breast milk. It is a natural acquired passive immunity. Whereas induced passive immunity means the administration of antibody to fight diseases after exposure to the pathogen. This is called as a induced or artificially passive immunity. So adaptive immunity. Mode of action of adaptive immunity. When pathogen invade our first and second line of defense, it is encountered with adaptive immunity, which is mainly consists of lymphocytes and antibodies they produced. When pathogen encounters first time, the response of adaptive immunity is minimal as it doesn't recognize pathogen yet, and it remembers that pathogen and stores immunological memory of this encounter. When same pathogen encounter further, there is amplified response of adaptive immune system. The adaptive immunity is divided into two main types, humoral immunity and cellular immunity. Humoral immunity, which is due to the B lymphocyte, and cellular immunity, which is due to the T lymphocyte. About humoral immunity. In humoral immunity, when pathogen recognized by the B cell first time, it matures into plasma cells and the memory cells, where the plasma cell secretes antibodies which initiate the immune response to kill the pathogen. Memory B cells are stored and has long lifespan. So single plasma cell can secrete more than 2000 molecules of antibody per second. These antibodies are major effector molecules. One of the important function of antibody is opsonization. In opsonization, antibody completely coated the pathogen which is recognized by the immune system. This is called as opsonization. The coated cell act like a signal to the other immune cells which comes and digests the coated cells. Antibodies are of 5 types: IgA, IgG, IgM, IgD, IgE, which perform their immunological functions in different ways. The another type of adaptive immunity is a cellular immunity. In cellular immunity, which is due to the T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes arises in bone marrow, migrate and mature in the thymus. That's why they are called as T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes having two subpopulations. TH cells means T helper cells and cytotoxic T cells means TC cells. Both cells can be differentiated from one another by the presence of CD4 and CD8 membrane glycoprotein present on their surfaces. So CD means clusters of differentiation. CD4 means cluster of differentiation 4 and CD8 means cluster of differentiation 8. Cytotoxic T cells having a CD8 glycoprotein on their membrane that recognize only antigen and MHC one molecule complex. They have a major role to killing the pathogen by direct interacting with invading microbes. Likewise, the helper T cell having a CD4 glycoprotein on their membrane that recognize only antigen and MHC2 molecule complex and secrete various growth factors known as cytokines. These cytokines play an important role in activating B cell, T cell, macrophages and various other cells that participated in immune response. So for the activation of humoral and cell mediated branch of immune system requires cytokines produced by the T helper cells. The primary functions of cell mediated response is first eliminate intracellular pathogen, second eliminate tumor cells. The third type of cell in adaptive immunity is antigen presenting cell called as APCs, which are macrophages, B cell and the dendritic cells. The functions of antigen presenting cell is to present antigen to lymphocytes. In immunology, we need to understand the term antigen. An antigen is a foreign molecule that is recognized by the lymphocyte and initiate a response for them. An immune system recognize the antigen, but it does not recognize whole antigen. It recognize and bind to a small portion of the antigen called as antigenic determinant or epitope. So what is epitope? It is immunologically active region on a complex antigen on which T cell and the B cell receptors bind. This is known as an antigen. This diagram showing an antigen and antigenic determinants on which various antibodies are attached. Up to this, we understand the importance of immune system when it works properly. But what happens if immune system does not work properly? There are immune dysfunction and its consequences occur when our immune system does not work properly. So first one is, there are several common of immune system dysfunction. First one is allergy and asthma. Allergy and asthma are results of inappropriate immune response that causes irritation and inflammation. Symptoms may include sneezing, wheezing and difficulty in breathing that causes asthma. Second one, autoimmunity. In certain individuals, the immune system malfunctions by losing its sense of self and non-self, which permit an immune attack. Autoimmunity can cause a number of chronic diseases. For example, multiple sclerosis is due to an autoimmune attack on the brain and central nervous system. Next example, rheumatoid arthritis is an attack on joint of arms and legs. Third one, immunodeficiency. If any of the many component of innate or acquired immunity is defective because of genetic abnormalities, or if any immune function is lost because of damage by chemicals, physical or biological agents, the host suffer from immunodeficiency. The most common immunodeficiency has been acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, that is AIDS. I hope you understand the lecture. Thank you.